Yeah, I've been working with our consultant, Jeff Pike, now for probably close to 2 weeks on putting together an op-ed piece rebutting the efforts by those folks that have been in stated opposition to the legislative efforts. And the principal point that they've been using is the notion that the refuge actually encompasses some 7,000 plus acres. And so the negative feedback from various groups, most recently including Mass Audubon, have been to the effect that the legislation is trying to cut in half the size of the refuge, when in actual fact that couldn't be any further from the truth. The original order of taking in 1944 was the United States versus 3,000 acres more or less. And ever since that initial order of taking, the Fish and Wildlife Service, in all of their various management permutations, right up until the comprehensive conservation plan was initiated, have recognized and respected that number of about 3,000 acres. In fact, when the wilderness area was contemplated, when they looked to that legislation to turn the balance of Monomoy into wilderness area, they used the exact same boundary which was considered in the original order of taking, and it specifically said to mean low water. So the number of times Congress has used that language, and Fish and Wildlife Service has accepted that language in their various management proposals throughout time, is clear evidence of the fact that up until this immediate generation of Fish and Wildlife Service, they viewed the refuge and the wilderness area that is encompassed therein to be more or less 3,000 acres. So when they talk about it all of a sudden being 7,000 plus acres, it's this immediate generation of Fish and Wildlife Service that is saying, well, wait a minute, the order of taking is wrong. Every generation of Fish and Wildlife Service before this erred, and only now do we recognize that we've always owned all 7,000 plus acres, which is simply, it flies in the face of all of the historic precedent and actions of everyone. And that the Commonwealth has continued to be such a responsible manager overall of these waters, these open waters and submerged lands, and that the town has been a subordinate, although incredibly on-site manager of these things, and has done so sustainably and in good faith for so many years. It's not been at the behest of the Fish and Wildlife Service. It has been as a responsibility to our citizens and to our ownership interests and the Commonwealth's ownership interests of those lands, to make sure that our people are properly availed of the opportunities to use those waters and those lands. The op-ed piece that has gone out finally has had a last chunk of edits. The town manager's had a shot at them. The chairman has seen them. And Bob Duncanson, who's been a great help in working on this issue for so long, has had a chop at them. And we're going to get that op-ed out as soon as we can to as many media outlets as possible. This effort, it's important that as many people that will take the time, make phone calls, write letters, let Representative Keating's office understand and know that this is serious business to us, that he shouldn't be cowed, and that he should continue to demonstrate the leadership and the cooperation and support he has done so far for the town, and we're hopeful he continues in that vein.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Taylor. Yeah, this is a huge issue for the town. That western boundary was at mean low water for 70 years. And the Fish and Wildlife Service woke up and decided that, it's not mean low water. It's pretty much another 3,000 acres across Nantucket Sound. Why? Because they could and did. So we do take issue with that, what they're taking. We do believe it's an illegal taking. We do believe that we jointly manage the resources of those waters for decades, if you will, centuries even, in cooperation with the state who actually owns those waters. So we take major issue and we take umbrage with this taking. That being said, we've pursued a legislative fix We maintain that probably would be the best course of action for the town, working in concert with our delegation and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That may or may not come to pass. That chapter has yet to play out. Keating is on record as saying he'll file September 6th. We'll see if he will or not. He was down here fundraising this summer, so we'll see. We are also in some discussion with the Fish and Wildlife Service, where that goes. Keating's preference is that we strike an MOU with the Fish and Wildlife Service, a memorandum of understanding where we hold hands and sing Kumbaya down there in Monomoy. And the town really is very much in favor of jointly managing the resources there and managing the fishing going forward. Should any new resources crop up, we want to be able to jointly manage them, working in concert with the Fish and Wildlife Service. But we have to have a full vote at the table, and we're not going to just cooperate. We need to jointly manage. So that's our stand there. We've expressed that very clearly in letters to the Fish and Wildlife Service, and we're waiting to hear back from them for a meeting next week, actually, to further conversation. Where that goes, I don't know. I don't think we know. But, our glass is probably half empty there, but we'll see where those discussions go. I look forward to, if they don't provide some closure or some agreement, I should say, then I look forward to Representative Keating standing by his word and filing legislation on September 6th. And so we'll see where that goes. So more to come. It's a very important issue. It's an important issue for the Commonwealth, an important issue for the town of Chatham, and frankly for the Cape as well.